rejected. She went and told her friend.
Oh man. What's happening? Let the stream commence. Catherine, good to see you. Deadpool Munir. Fabian. Hey bro, should arrive today. Fucking bless, man. Ben, shouts to you, brother. What's your location, dude? Fill me in on the country. Did you message me yesterday? I forgot a few people with shirt arrived yesterday, brother. It was a great day in the shirt delivery world. What's occurring, lad? I'm out. I'm on the stream. It's freezing. It's beautiful weather, but it's also freezing. UK, I didn't message you. Shouts to you, man. I mean, the post has really come through lately. I feel like when I send small amounts out, they really like it punches through like the feed. You know, it punches through the postal system. When you go there and you drop like all of them in one spot, you know, you end up getting fucking 15 go missing. Yeah, they must be, eh? But now, you know, when I drop them off now, I'm really, you know, I make sure I look the girl in the eyes and really watch her when she, like, you know, puts the stickers on, and just make sure she's doing it properly, man. What country are you in too, brother? Oh, fuck, man, everyone's shirt. Saying mortality. Did you change your name? Yeah, brother, you know, I'm just looking at, like, you're gonna make it, eh? You're gonna make it, I mean. I've got endless stock to keep resending, but still, I prefer not to. We love the new name, eh? Saiyan Muay Thai. What's Saiyan? Like Super Saiyan or Saiyan in the gym? T-shirt has been. Shouts to you. Shouts to everybody who's got a T-shirt so far. I love the photos. I love the Instagrams. I love the. I just love seeing people wearing fucking Rice logos, man. To be honest with you. What's my Strava account? It's Abdullah Zainab. KD, it's always good to see you. Know, you've been here for a while, brother. I'll never forget that, eh? Shouts to you. Why am I feeling? I was literally about to say BC. I still remember that. I remember you sending me, dude. I got a great memory, brother. I remember you sending me that video of you in the car. Well, you weren't in the video, but it was just your car and you were listening to Water Torture. Am I correct? Am I correct? I take pride in remembering this shit, dude. Patrick the Third. Serial third eye specialist, how you doing? Yeah, see, brother, see? Water Torture for life, eh? Water Torture never gets old. I mean, you have to deload off Water Torture for you know, I've done it on and off for years now. The beat can just get so sharp, you know what I mean? I forgot the beat, but you know what it's like. It's like real sharp, you know what I mean? You got to deload sometimes. So I'm on a Water Torture deload. Shouts to you, Video Child. Enjoy. It's to Tommy Evans. Who else is here? Let's get a booming. Like the stream. You know, there's no likes. You know, so you need to like it, eh? Actually, there is. Is there likes? No, there's no likes. I'm looking at the thing. When are you meeting up with the 3DMJ cunts? You know, I was at the hotel last night. I went to the hotel last night. I was just chilling, man. Caught up with Berto, Eric, Andrea, Evan Godby. You know, it's a rare sighting to see me out of the house after fucking 6 p.m, man. But you know, when my people are in town, you know, I have to be out of the house after 6 p.m. So yeah, me and Jess went up there last night. I probably they got a pretty vigorous schedule, man. They got a pretty vigorous schedule. So I'll probably catch up with them on Monday because they do their. Look, I know how these seminars work. You know, you do the seminar all day, and then you go to dinner, and you really have no control over where you go to dinner, and then everyone goes to dinner, and then you stay at dinner for a while, and then by the time you get home, you're just exhausted. You know. Are you doing a video with them? Please put Jeff Alpers in the chair, love it. There's no time to put anyone in the chair, bro. You know, I might film a bit of food here and there if let me turn the brightness up. There we go. If I'm out. Tell I see respect. It was good to see but all of them, man. You know, I haven't seen Eric in years. You know? Creedon, you look beautiful. Marco, you're amazing. What am I doing today, bro? You know, fuck the same shit I do every day, really. I'm gonna go home. I got a video. I finished making this video, but I still need to, you know, find one more bit of music. You know, maybe just finish it off a little bit, and then I'm gonna go do deliveries on the bike, I guess, and then come home, eat, and you know, I might even go out again tonight because last night was real busy, and I want to buy a tripod, and you know, the tripod's not gonna fucking buy itself. I think it's about time I bought a tripod, Like, I'm just like, I need a fucking tripod, dude. Like, it's a critical piece of equipment that I need. I deliver food on the bike, brother. I deliver food on the bike, so anything, man. I deliver all sorts of shit, roti, pancakes. You know, usually on the weekend, it starts off with pancakes, just because, you know, I drop off to a bunch of Chinese dudes who want to eat pancakes, and you know, all power to them. I love dropping off pancakes to Chinese people because I'm just like, you know what, you know, eat this shit, love this shit, you deserve this pancake, brother. You know what I mean? Sometimes I drop bacon and egg. Sometimes I drop bacon and egg rolls to like some white dude who lives 100 meters from the restaurant. I'm just like, bruh. I hand it to him and I just give it to him, like I hold on to it extra tight, and I'm just like, next time walk. You know, if you're gonna be this fucked up, walk. KD, if you're gonna be sending anything, let me know, brother, because there's you have to have the apartment. There has to be an apartment number on that fucking thing. Otherwise, we'll just go to the building. Do they limit you? They don't limit shit, man. Last night when I went to go see Birdo and shit, you know, it was so busy, man. They sent me a message saying, "Get your bike, go." Like, we're overloading, and I was like, "Fuck," you know, like if I, you know, like it would have been booming last night. I got home at 11, man, and there were cunts on the street, like everywhere delivering, and I'm just thinking, fuck, like the city was just booming with deliveries. Like, there would have been a dude yesterday, you know, I was talking to this dude yesterday in the lift, and I was like, how many deliveries you done today? And he was like, 45. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? He's on the motorbike, but I'm like, 45. I'm like, how much money you earned so far? I was like, $450. I'm just like, this is 21st century, you know, entrepreneur style, man. $450, man. Just boosting around for 11 hours a day. I mean, it's still, you know, you're still working, but I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. Thoughts on vegan gains? It's bizarre. Vegan gains is a bizarre cunt, man. You know, I prefer living anywhere. You know, I'm very adaptable. I like the city, but I also like my mum's house. And my mum's house is like not in the city. You know, I love living, and I've been in the country before, you know, not for prolonged periods of time, but I love everything, you know what I mean? It is nice to have a backyard, I'll tell you that. But just as much as when you have a backyard for fucking 10 years, you want to have a fucking city. And when you have a city and then you want to have a backyard, like, it's all the same, really. The perfect balance for me is like my mum's house, though, because like it's close to the city, but it's also not like, you know what I mean? You have that kind of neighborhood feel, and you know, it'd be sick if I lived in the fucking hills in Adelaide or something, because then I'd be close to the city, in the hills, and then close to suburbia at the same time, but you'd feel hell isolated. Love ever drive you crazy? Not crazy, bro. I mean, crazy in a good way. Do you have to pay commission on what you earned at? You mean like tax? Yeah, you have to pay tax. I'm from a very small city, but I'm craving something different. Going ahead to London after uni for a few years. Shout out to you, brother. I mean, do it. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Vancouver, bro. You know, I think it's just when I was younger, I used to watch old mountain biking videos from Vancouver, so I know the scenery, man, and I know it's like lush and lakes and cold, and everyone's driving snowmobiles to work, and it looks beautiful. I know it's raining a lot. Cunts are drinking beer and they're retired and they have jumps in their backyard. Nah, bro. I mean, they work it out, man. Like, I think, like, you know, if you pay $11 for delivery, they take $4 off the top. They give you $7 or something. You know what I mean? That's how it works. And at the end of the week, depending on how much money you've earned, you pay X amount of tax, which is cool, I guess. Otherwise, they fuck you, man. I'll tell you what, they fuck you hard. You know, I don't even want to get into tax discussions online. Am I going to vegan camp out in 2017? No. When is vegan camp out? The only reason I know about vegan camp out is I know that Joey's going, and I want to be back. I want him to be back in Adelaide when I'm there. So fill me in on the situation. What's the company? Uber. I work for Uber, bro. But you can work for multiple companies. You can work for Foodora. You can work for fucking Menulog. You can work for Deliveroo. There's an amazing amount of companies these days that just, you know, I see dudes working for like 5 companies, man. Like, usually I see a couple dudes every day that work for like 2 companies, and, you know, like, they're just, when one app goes off, they turn the other app off and they use that app, and then when they finish with that one, they put them both on. As soon as they get delivered, they turn the other one off. You know, so it's just full times, bing, 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 binging. Was the Chinese language lesson yesterday? Did I miss? We did no Chinese lesson yesterday. I mean, it's my own, but, you know, I'm uploading a video tonight, and then I'll upload a Chinese lesson the day after. Who's H? H is a lifestyle. H is an entity. H is someone who came to me in my dreams. You know what I mean? Shout out to the early stream. It's a good start to the morning. It's a beautiful start to the morning, man. I had a great sleep. I didn't train this morning, so I got to sleep in a bit longer, which is amazing. You know, otherwise I probably would have been pretty tired, man, because I got home late last night, which is a rarity, but it was also great. I mean, H presents himself in physical form in the form of like a you know, an Indian-looking Vin Diesel, you know, but that's H is way beyond that, man. H is a lifestyle. I'm telling you straight up, H is a lifestyle. Let's get it straight into the mind-bending questions, brother. Who's Abdullah Zainab? You know, who is Abdullah Zainab? You know, fuck, man. I've been asking myself that question my whole fucking life, man. Who is Abdullah? I don't even think of myself as Abdullah Zainab. Like, even when I'm saying I'm Abdullah Zainab, I don't really believe it, man. Now, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but I don't believe it when I say my name's Abdullah Zainab. Like, it just feels foreign to me. Like, you'd think that, you know, you associating it with your name would feel more comfortable, but it just feels weird. I don't know why. Well, I think I know why. Well, I think I have a feeling why it feels weird, eh? But, you know. Who is Abdullah Zainab? It's just a name I've been given. You know, that represents, you know, this will sound hell bizarre, but it's true. I mean, Abdullah Zainab just represents my physical form. And why is he here? You know, I'm here, brother, ultimately to, you know, if I think about my own situation and what makes me feel pretty chill is just, I'm just here to experience, man. You know, and what my message? Fuck, man, I got a lot of messages. What did he give me a shout out about? I love Joey C, brother. Honestly, I'd run in front of a car for that cunt, man. You know what I mean? When you look into Joey C's eye, you see a man whose soul's on fucking fire, man. Like, you can see the gleam in the cunt's eye. Like, I have, you know, there's very few cunts that come to my house to eat dinner, and he's one of them, dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's gone to my house to eat dinner without me. Like, even my mum loves the cunt. I'm not a person looking out into the world. I'm a person looking out into itself. Yeah, shouts to you. I am the world looking out into itself. That's full you are, the universe you are, everything mindset. And I completely fuck with that mindset, dude. 100%. You know? I look into... It sounds weird, brother. I know this will sound weird, but sometimes I feel like when I look at cunts, I feel like I'm looking into myself a little bit. I know it's hell far-fetched to think, but I actually feel like that, dude. Like, I feel like I know them. Like, they are a bit of me. Yeah, I got a deep love for that motherfucker. I don't know why, man. I've got a deep love for the cunt, man. It's weird. Like, it's cool, man, how you can strike up these relationships with cunts, and then there's very few people I ever meet, dude. And when I have a conversation with them, regardless of what you talk about, you leave and just go, fuck, man. Every time I leave with that dude, I just sit there and go, fuck, what a good cunt. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, what a solid human, eh? I would definitely know you if I saw you, bro. That trailer's for a documentary I was filming. I filmed on a bike race, man. Do I ever get bored with my day-to-day life? Fuck no. I never get bored, eh? I mean, how can you get bored? It's just infinite things to do, infinite things to think about. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You're living in a pretty crazy situation when you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, just like, you're human. How can you get bored? You know what I mean? Like, how can you get bored, dude? You're a human. Like, your heart's beating. Like, you're just so many fucked up things going on all around you in the most insane, fathomable way that you're not going to be able to comprehend. That's beyond your level of comprehension. How can you get bored? Like, think about where you came from. Think about where you're going. How can you get bored? Like, there's so much of it is just like, fuck, I'm living in the best video game in the whole world, been granted the most extreme opportunity of a lifetime. Like, there's no room to get bored. Like, even if you're sitting there on the couch thinking, what the fuck am I doing? I mean, that's still interesting. How did I meet Jess? I met Jess, you know, in all seriousness, you know, I saved Jess's life. I'm kidding. I met Jess at the gym, funnily enough. I met Jess at the gym. You know, in the most boring fucking way, I'll tell you like this, you know, I met Jess in the gym. I was looking for a bar. I was looking for the weightlifting bar. So I was like, I want to use the weightlifting bar. And she was doing something on the platform, and she was like, oi, the weightlifting bar's over there. And I was like, oh, cheers. So I came back, and then, you know, that started off like, hey, I'm Abdullah, hey, I'm Jess. And then, you know, I'd see her at the gym every now and again. And then one day, you know, she was like, you want to go to lunch? And I was like, yeah, I want to go to lunch. And then she took me to like this like little Japanese joint I'd never been to, and I was like, fuck, like I felt like this was sick, man. And then, you know, it just started from there, man. We started having lunch together. And then, you know, she started coming to my house to eat dinner. And then we were training every day. And then like we were training every day, and then we were having dinner every day. She'd come back to my house, and I was walking her home. And then one day it just hit me, and I was like, fuck, man. Are you meant to do this shit with girls you don't like? And I was like, fuck, man, I think I like this girl. You know, so, and that's how it started. I feel like we are slaves to the name and characters we portray on a second-to-second basis. It's like we are too busy judging what we just did instead of focusing on what we're doing in the present. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. I don't think of my name, man. Like, I hardly say my name. It's like, I hardly say my name. I don't acknowledge how old I am. You know, shit like that. Just, there's no point for me, man. But then I'll be walking around and be like, yo, I'm Abdullah Zine, I'm X years old. You know, this is what I'm wearing. This is my IG profile. This is my YouTube account. I would just represent myself with a bunch of meaningless shit that had just to create this false identity. I've never tried inversion boots, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I really did enjoy doing shit with Jess, man. Jess was a very unique girl, man. And I love you. Like, I just like, she was real intriguing to me, and I love the intriguingness of it. Like, I was just like, this is sick. You know what I mean? And I mean, I guess that's how it started, man. You know, I remember the first time I went to a house, I was like, fuck, this is a sick house. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like a full Asian house, man. A full Asian apartment. I was like, wow. Like, I'm really getting the experience of a lifetime here. How much do I weigh, brother? I probably weigh 97 kilos. I'm 6'1". So I'm quite a tall human. I'm quite tall, man. I mean, 6'1", I would say that is a decent height. I enjoy being tall, man. But, you know, if I was short, I'd probably enjoy that too if that was just the cards I was dealt. But, no, I do enjoy being tall. It has its benefits. Shout out to everybody in the stream right now. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream. Drop your comments and questions down below. Get yourself some new fabric. Take your life to the next level. Shout out to all of you. How much weight should I gain a week / month on a bulk? I'm 28 years old. It's really relative on your situation, brother. You know, age, you know, your age has a factor, but more so your training age and your situation. Like, if you were like, yeah, I've been training for 6 years consistently, been very methodical with my progress over time, then I would be like, you know, probably not going to gain that much weight, man. Do you know what I mean? You'd probably be doing that gain a little bit here and there, gain a pound, you know, a pound here and there, and you'd be doing all right. But if you were like, yo, I haven't been training that consistently, I haven't been, you know, methodical with my progress, I have quite a young training age, so you'd probably be able to be a bit more aggressive. You know what I mean? No coaching, and I will never do it, man. Well, at least again, eh? You know, I found myself telling dudes to brush their teeth when I was, you know, and I was like, I can't do this no more, eh? It's sick money though, man. The coaching thing was sick money, and I quite enjoyed it because I didn't really coach, man. I would just be yelling on Skype all the time. I was just mad, but I realized, bro, like, I never do shit I don't want to do to make money. Like, on the sake of making money, you know what I mean? Like, I like doing shit long term. Like, I could see myself doing long term. Like I could see myself riding my bike every day for the rest of my life to make money. I would be okay with that. That's why I do it. You know, I find, but I couldn't see myself doing that full time for a long period of time to make money. I was like, it's not worth it to me. Even if I don't make as much money, it's cool. I put my training in my notes, man. So literally every time I go to the gym, I just copy and paste the notes. It's the only time I look at it. I copy and paste the workout I'm doing from my previous session into my notes. You know, usually I have 2 different workouts for each session, and then I just look at it and say, you know, how am I feeling? I'll do a couple sets. I'll do my first set, you know, and I'll see what I need to do, and if I feel like I can do it, then I'll up the weight or up the volume. I'll do 1 rep. You know, I do some weird shit, man. I'll do, like, you know, real slow progress, bro, that I love, eh? And it feels amazing. Like, you know, 1 week I'll do 4 sets of 11 on X on flyers. The next week I'll do 3 sets of 11, 1 set of 12. It's only 1 more rep, man, but you just do that every year you slowly get better. What did you do when you did them Skype coaching sessions? Was it all about training or life, man? You know, like, it was about everything, man. It was about training, but the training advice was so simple. It was just like lift over time, dude. It's just like lift over time and just try and get better. And don't be a freak. I mean, that's what we talk about. You know, a lot of people, man, don't really have training issues. They just have issues that aren't really training related. They're like just life related. The gym is hella boring now. I dread going there. I mean, you have to work out. I mean, there could be a number of reasons, brother, why you hate going to the gym. Or not hate, but you dislike going to the gym. Maybe it has a reason to why you're there in the first place, or why you went there in the first place. A lot of the times the gym becomes boring for us when, you know, the why, we lose the why, or the why was misplaced in the first place. You know what I mean? So you might start in a place where it's just like, I want to be better than everyone else, or like, I want to become someone I think that, you know, I want to turn into this person that I think weightlifting is going to give me, or, you know, and then over time that kind of changes, and then when that kind of changes, you don't have it no more. It's kind of hard to keep coming back. So you have to revisit why you're doing shit. Because I can't make progress. I mean, that's, you know, that's bullshit, bro. Like, because you can always make progress. You define what you mean by progress, and how you're not progressing, eh? I mean, that's a mindset, dude. I'm weak. What's weak to you, man? You know what I mean? What's weak to you? You know? You gotta fall in love with the process, eh? It's 100%. Shouts to Fanta Zero. I haven't had Fanta Zero in a while. My favorite, Sunkist Zero is where it's at, man. They got the formula right with the sweetener. It just sits well. 3-8, bro. Literally, man. It's toxic that you're telling me that you. It's toxic how you're telling me that you're weak as fuck and you deadlift 385 pounds. Like, who are you comparing yourself to, man? Do you know what I mean? Why do you think you're weak as fuck? Like, where does that realization come from? Probably comes from a place where you're just comparing yourself to every single other cunt out there who deadlifts more than you. You know what I mean? If that didn't exist, would you still think you're weak? You might be doing that unknowingly, dude, just comparing yourself to other people, without even consciously recognizing that you're doing that. Yeah, apparently a lot of shit, dude. Apparently I should be making 200k a year being a fucking engineer, you know, hating my life. Apparently that's the way it should be done, man. There's a lot of shit that's apparently, it doesn't even matter. Apparently, you know, that just doesn't even apply to you, dude. Because apparently the way it is isn't the way it is. It's just, it is what it is. The fact that you deadlift 385 is just, that's what you deadlift, brother. There's no you sitting there being like, apparently I should be doing more. I mean, it doesn't matter, dude. Talk about your thoughts on male body dysmorphia and how bad it's gotten with social media. I mean, social media really exemplifies body dysmorphia on a high level. And, you know, you get a lot of people, you know, I was talking about this shit with my friends last night, and we were talking about it, and I said a lot of the times you encounter people on social media, I mean, they just use it as a tool to, it's like therapy for them, it's an outlet for them. And a lot of the times people make posts, there's a whole thing going on, brother. Like, sometimes I see people make posts and it's almost like, you know, like everyone knows the profile where you just look through and it's a girl and they're just all naked photos, and then you read the caption, the girl's full hoe bag style, and you read the caption, and the caption's like some, like, you know, Eckhart Tolle excerpt, and you're just like, you know what I mean? You just kind of think in your head, like, how does this match up? Or they're like talking about how they're in love with their body and how eating more's okay, and all this bizarre shit. And sometimes, like, you know, when they're like, yeah, you know, like, overeating's okay, like, love your body, it's like, you look at them and you're like, almost like, loving your body's okay. Like, that's what you should be doing. Like, you want to pat them on the back, you're like, you're right, it's okay. They're sending a message to themselves, bro. A lot of the times it's just people dealing with their own issues, and then and just publishing it online and packaging it in a way where it's like they're trying to tell you, they're sending a message to themselves, but they're putting it in a way where they're trying to tell you that's what you should do. You know, it's real bizarre. And also, there's all the elements of just like, there's a lot of them, man, because a lot of people, I mean, the level of social approval and the people get the significance of Instagram is huge. I mean, like, people want to get on Instagram and be famous because that's just the thing to do, brother. I mean, the thing is, bro, everyone wants to be loved and shit. And then when they see people with massive followings and they're getting praised and loved, you know, they just want to have a massive following, you know. Deep down, they just want to be loved. That's why I want to have a massive following. But they don't even know that. They just think in their head, like, I just want a massive following. You know what I mean? So people idolize these characters, man. And a lot of the times, these people at the top are suffering from the same issues they are. You know what I mean? They just have more eyes on them. And then that just further perpetuates the cycle. You know? Just the mad cycle, eh? Apparently I should do a lot of shit, man, you know, but I tell you what, it's never done me any good to sit here and think it should be like this versus it is like this. Seriously, man, it should be like this. It's a toxic, it shouldn't be like this, you know? Like, you be the type of cunt, it wasn't meant to be this way. Like, why did this happen to me? It's just full victim whack mindset. It is what it is, man. Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, people, yeah, I mean, people post all sorts of shit, brother. They post all sorts of shit, all sorts of wacky motivation shit. But you can cut through it, man. When you have an ounce of critical thinking, you can see what's happening. And it's great, man, because I learn a lot from these, you know, fucking bizarre humans. I learn a lot from them, bro, because I see what they're doing and I go, oh, Abdullah, make sure, like, and I notice myself, I do it sometimes too, and I notice the behavior, man. Like, I notice the times I tell someone something and it's almost like I'm telling them something I'm trying to tell to myself because I'm suffering from it, you know what I mean? And I notice that behavior, and it's cool to see, you know what I mean? And a lot of the times we make up, I've learned from a lot of people on social media, people make up shit that's not even happening. They just tell themselves stories. Like, I see cunts talking about haters that don't exist. I see it all the time. They'll be like, oh, the haters in the comment section. You read the comment section, there's no haters. And it's like, what haters are you talking about? Like, life's it's just this big one fucking war. It's like, there's no war going on. The war's inside of your head. Like they're in this constant battle to prove, like, just in this approval game. You know what I mean? Like, this is massive prove to everyone, and they're trying to prove something, but it's sad because you're just seeing a motherfucker on the journey who just has no self-worth and he's just trying to prove something to himself. I use it as a distraction from my mind. Well, that's just practice, bro. You know, sometimes I open Instagram and, like, as soon as I open it, I close it because like I'm not actively, like, choosing to go on Instagram. It's almost like a subconscious thing. Like, oh, well, there's nothing to do. Boom, Instagram. I just straight away swipe down, turn it off, man. You know, sometimes throughout a day, I'll do that 4 times or I'll accidentally open it. I'll be like, what am I doing? I'm not fucking, just turn this shit off. Like, I'm just waiting for a delivery. You can just wait for a delivery and not go on Instagram. Like, it's okay. Shouts to you, plant goals, man. I don't drink kombucha, man. Yeah. I'm very critical, man. I'm very critical about what I watch and what I consume, because I realize it has a profound effect on my life. Like, I'm not one of these cunts to say it shouldn't be like this, but then scroll through Instagram a million times a day. Do you see the link there? Like, I'm not the cunt to just sit on Facebook for 4 hours and then end up in a position and be like, I should be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of mentality that shit breeds, man. You know, like this constant hamster wheel. I'm not good enough, comparing myself to everybody else, distract me from my own life, have a terrible relationship with myself just because I'm so invested in everybody else. You know what I mean? So, you know, social media can really form this shape of the world that's not really how it is. And a lot of the times, you know, people, it's just this mad ego thing where and I've done it before too, so I'm speaking from fucking experience, dude, where it's like, people come at it from a point where they're trying to act genuine, but what they're really trying to do is they're trying to feel important, and the way they go about feeling important is in this way by just always one-upping you. one-upping you. And now we live in a time on YouTube where it's like exemplified by motherfuckers walking around with, you know, rainbow videographers behind them who film their boring ass fucking shit, make some boring ass fucking edit that's just like, dude, you're doing a dumbbell curl, it's okay. You know what I mean? We don't need this level for it. Just to simply, it's a simple thing like I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. And you know, I think it's sad, brother. I think it pulls the power out of the human. I think that kind of content pulls the power out of the human. It doesn't put the power back in the human. So, I mean, I definitely don't watch it because I don't want, fuck mate, I'll tell you what, I don't want anything stripping my power away. You know, I don't want anything, I make sure I stay away from it. Otherwise, you'll be one of these motherfuckers that say it shouldn't be like this and wonder why it's happening. When it's your fucking fault. Brother, you know, I used to say the same thing, it shouldn't be like this. And then one day I said to myself, who the fuck told you what it's meant to be like, man? Seriously, who the fuck told you what it's meant to be like? That's where 90% of the suffering comes from, your expectation of what it's meant to be like, dude. You know, that expectation drives you to do all sorts of funky shit, dude. All sorts of funky shit that probably led you to this fucking hole where you don't feel content. You know, so I always remind myself, like, when I'm like, oh, this kind of fucking, sometimes I'm in situations where I'm like, fuck, this is, like, I don't know if it's meant to be like this, brother. And then I tell myself in my head, I'm like, who the fuck told you it's meant to be like this, man? You know what I mean? Like who? Like, imagine if I kept that mindset all the time, I'd be the most sad fucking cunt, man, because I'd just be always thinking like, I'm not meant to think this much. Normal people don't think this much. It's not meant to be like this. I should be smiling more. I shouldn't be questioning this. It would just be like, ugh, I'd be a wreck, man. Tears for people who think they aren't good enough. I mean, you just, brother, it's practice and it's effort. I mean, it's practice and it's effort and it's work and it's a lot of shit, man. I mean, you just don't wake up one day with a level of like that. You know, you don't just wake up one day and you're the most self-confident fucking. You know, it takes work, man. It takes active work, and you know, every day we make a set of choices that either promote a mindset or promote that kind of mindset, that level of self-confidence, or you make a series of choices that detach from that, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of stuff we can do every day that will instill self-confidence, brother. Like, every time you're presented with the opportunity to do something that you want, like, there's always these opportunities in my life, dude, where, like, I notice the power of them all the time. Like yesterday, I'll put this in a great perspective for you, brother. And I noticed this from a young age, and I just built on it, man. I noticed that I was the type of cunt, like a lot of us, dude, is that, like, I would always have, and training really taught me this, I'd always have this, I'd be doing a fucking set, and then in my mind it would say, just do one more. You can do one more. And I hated it, because in my mind, I would be like, now that I've had that thought, I can't not act upon it. And I would have to act upon it. You know what I mean? And I would act upon it. And then I noticed in everyday situations, I'd be presented with these opportunities where it's like, I knew what I needed to do. And what was, you know, sometimes the harder thing to do, but the more rewarding thing to do. And I was like, now that I've thought about it, I can't not act upon it. You know what I mean? If I didn't act upon it, it'd be taking a step back, and I can see what that would do to my self-worth and my relationship with myself, man. You know what I mean? And these opportunities presented themselves to me all the time. Like yesterday, like, I delivered food to this construction worker, and I was like, I want to ask this cunt, you know, where he got his ticket to stand on the road and make money, you know, to do the traffic control thing. I know plenty of cunts, like, who would not even have the courage to talk to him. And even myself, I'm like, for a brief moment there, I felt almost weird about asking the cunt, but I was like, why are you feeling weird about asking cunt where he got a mad conversation? I don't care about being loved. I prepared myself to die. That way I'm prepared for the worst. Yeah, see, that sentence is fucked up in a lot of ways, brother. That sentence is fucked up in a lot of ways. I don't care about being loved. I mean, that's weird, because love's a beautiful thing, man. And if there's, you know what I mean? Love's a beautiful thing, and you should care about being loved, you know what I mean? Well, number one, I don't care about being loved. You're saying that probably because you don't love yourself, man. You know what I mean? That's a direct reflection on your relationship with yourself, eh? I prepared myself to die alone. That's also fucked up. The way I'm prepared for the worst. I mean, it sounds like you have a pretty funky relationship with the idea of dying, brother. But it's, at the same time, bro, you're saying these things, right? But I mean, I know this will sound bizarre, but it's cool that you think you have these thoughts, man. Like, in a way, like, you have to look at them as an opportunity to further your perspective on the situation. Because a lot of people, like, you've probably been pushed in your life to a point where you're having these feelings, which are extreme. These are extreme feelings. But you have to realize there are feelings and thoughts that people, like, it's hard to see the beauty in it, dude, but it's also, there's a certain level of beauty when a person's questioning their own existence. I honestly thrive on it. And I think it's kind of beautiful that it's like some deep level fucking train of thought when you get to a point where you feel like you get pushed to a point where it's almost like, now you're really thinking about your life. Like, you're really thinking about your own dying and breathing and all this. It's really full on, man. And I think there's a level of beauty in it, man. And it's a great opportunity for you to, to further your understanding about the whole situation. Yeah, and when I meant love, I meant having a girlfriend. So, because you don't have a girlfriend, okay? So I don't care. So I don't care about having a girlfriend. Essentially, that's what you're saying. I don't care about having a girlfriend. That way, I'm prepared for the worst. Yeah, I mean, nah, brother. I mean, nah. Yeah, I mean, work on your love for yourself, bro, and then you'll get a girlfriend. I know that's always the cliche shit, but it's the truth, man. It literally is the truth. How do you expect anyone... Like, if I just asked you to rate your self-confidence or, like, your relationship with yourself out of 10, if you gave me something like a 5 or a 6, and then I'd be like, well, obviously you're not going to find a girl for you. Then you're not going to find a girl, brother. You're not going to find a girl. Everything you see in a person, you're just going to be that's just going to be a reflection of yourself, eh? Like, I could never attract a girl in my life that I'd actually love and be accepting of. If I couldn't accept myself, man, because I'd just be projecting my own insecurities onto her. Like, the world would never be good enough for me if I wasn't good enough. Because ultimately, the world's projecting from out there into my eyes, into my brain, and I'm perceiving it the way it is, eh? It's all from the viewer's perception. So you gotta remember that, man. When you become enough internally, everything becomes enough. I think about dying all the time, bro. I think about dying all the time. I completely agree with you that it's liberating to think that I think it's liberating, brother. I think it's the, I can see how a person's mindset would change, and I can see the power of, coming to terms with it. It's almost like when people, like imagine if like everyone really came to terms with their own death. Obviously that's really hard to do until you die, eh? But like, I mean, you see the radical shit people. Like, if I just think about like, you know, cunts have almost died, or cunts who know they're gonna die, and look at the way they live. I think, fuck, man, like that's a pretty cool way to live, eh? Why can't I live like that? You know what I mean? I think this fear of death breeds this like weird, I don't know, this weird, like, it's just anytime you fear something, it just makes you do weird shit, man. You know, most cunts just live in fear 24/7. They end up in jobs they hate. You know, they end up getting so scared that they're just constantly preparing for the next stage of their life, just constantly preparing, and they just get complacent and they stay in the same fucking spot, man. What's my perspective on the concept of religion? You know, I love religion, man. I love all forms. I think there's beauty in I think there's beauty in most religions out there, brother. Regardless, you know, when people ask me about religion and they're not a religious person, you know, I respect everybody and their beliefs, but I tell them, I mean, like, it's beautiful we live in a world right now where you can literally find out 90% about religions just by Googling them. And there's plenty of religious practices out there that lend to a better life, man. Like, you can literally become a fucking 10% Hare Krishna, 10% Buddhist, 10% Muslim, 10% Christian, not even label yourself any of them, and just adopt practices that you feel are correct and not label yourself. And I think that's a fucking sick thing to do. Yeah, I think that's a sick fucking thing to do. Bro, you know, like, yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I think that death is just an end to present state of being. 100%. I think that it only comes with the actual experience of the near death, though, eh? That kicks up. I think when people have near death experiences, bro, they see the light, eh? Literally, I think they see the light. There's something to it, man. There has to be something to it. Your brain and soul goes through an experience that when you almost die, something happens, man. Because you come back with this newfound perspective. It's just like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? Can't actually start living then, man. You have to get pushed to your lowest point, almost where you're about to fucking die, to come back and start living again. It's crazy, eh? I look at death death really gives me this level in my life that it gives me this level of, you know, I'm just thinking about it, I'm just giving you my own perspective on it, right? I don't know how true this is, right? But thinking about death gives me this real level of, I just feel okay with everything, man, because I know I'm gonna die. And once I've got my head around that, then it's okay, man. Like, because I know I'm gonna die, dude. Like, I felt like for the longest period of time, people were trying to sell me this level of certainty that was just false, man. That put me into this box that I didn't want to be in, but just so I could be certain and safe. You know what I mean? But then once I realized that, like, the only certain thing that's ever going to happen to me is that, you know, I will die, and that's the only certainty I have. So, you know, everything else, it doesn't even matter to me anymore. Like, if that's the only thing that I'm guaranteed. You know, that's the only thing I'm guaranteed, brother. That eventually my heart will stop beating and I'll go. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I know that's the only thing I'm guaranteed. So, you know, everything else kind of crumbles beneath that, you know. How would you balance being a Buddhist hippie type person and capitalist? My goals kind of clash. Wanting to live on nothing while wanting to accumulate wealth. Well, you just have to, like, I want money, bro. Like, I want fucking money. Now, I don't think I'm a Buddhist hippie person either, but I mean, I want money, bro. But I just realized the value of what money is. You know what I mean? It's all about the why, brother. It's all about your intentions and why you want to do it. I don't want to accumulate wealth for the sake of claiming wealth. I don't really care about how much money I make for the sake of just saying that's how much money I make. That's not who I am, you know what I mean? Like, it's meaningless to me. The reason I make money is because this is the world we live in, dude. And, you know, for me to fulfill the needs that I need to fulfill, it takes money. So I go out and earn that money. Nothing more, nothing less, man. You know, like, I know I don't want to be a fucking a mad entrepreneur that generates $2 billion income and just make massive business moves and just like, that's not fulfilling for me. So I don't need to make that much money. And my intentions are to experience, my intentions are to drink clean water, my intentions are to have great relationships, my intentions are to stay fit. And then I look at the world we live in right now and say, well, if that costs money to do that, well then, you know, that's something I partake in. It's just called living in the real world, you know, like, I'm not, you know, naked meditating under a tree. You know, like, I want to eat gluten. It costs $4 a day to eat gluten. Well, I have to make $4. You can live a basic lifestyle while making hell good money, man. And millions of cunts probably do it every year, brother. The thing is, I think personally, man, it's that classic, like, when you become good, everything becomes good type of mindset that really lends itself to the money making game. Like, when you really revisit, you know, the why, and you really revisit what gives you a sense of contentness, you realize that that's quite cheap, man. Like, in the world we live in, that kind of shit's cheap, man. Like, it's not that expensive, and suddenly everything becomes enough. You know what I mean? The money you make becomes enough. Look, I think I earn amazing money, but if I told you how much money I earn, you'd probably be like, that's not enough, but it is enough to me. And it feels like I'm rich as fuck, dude. Can you give a 1-minute description of your philosophy and God spiritually? You know, I don't even know, man. You know, like, that's a hard thing to give in 1 minute, brother. Because, I mean, like, 1 minute, like a minute to describe that is quite a brief time frame. You know, I'm not even sure, bro. I live in this state of, you know, I'm not really sure, and it doesn't bother me, the fact that I'm not sure. If anything, it empowers me. You know, I feel like my own spirituality, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I think, like, you know, I can't really put my finger on it, man. It's one of those things I can't put my finger on. Like, I've always lived with the feeling, like, just that there's something more going on that I couldn't describe. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't describe. It's kind of feeling in the back of your brain, you know, at 2 a.m. in the morning when you wake up feeling funky. It's the kind of feeling in your brain when you have a little, you know, them type of feels where you can kind of preempt a situation. It's the kind of feeling in the back of your brain where you feel something's not right, but you can't describe it. It's the type of feeling when you feel something, but there's no way to even describe it. Like, you know, feelings that you can't put into words. So I always thought my whole life that there's more than just, you know, my flesh and bones, you know, being here. Just a piece of meat operating, you know. So I don't know who put me here, brother. You know, I really don't know where I come from. All I know is that, I don't know, man. I just feel like like, when I look at myself in the mirror, it feels weird to stare at myself and look at my reflection. You feel me? Like, it feels weird to see yourself. Because it's something, I just feel like I'm a spirit stuffed inside of a body. Being rich in life experience and interaction is great. Being rich in wealth, yeah. Straight up, brother. Being rich in experience. I just realized, you know, money comes, you know, the cliche shit when can't say money comes and goes, experience lasts forever, is true. You know what I mean? Because at your rawest format, when you strip down bare bones and shit, I mean, you got no money, man. Like, if I stripped you naked and took every single thing off you, what are you left with, man? You're left with your soul, and you're left with your memory, you're left with you're left with the experience you have, man. That's all you're left with, brother. You're not left with your wallet. You're not left with your shoes. You're not left with your IG profile. You're not left with your YouTube account. You're just left with what's inside of you. And that's the ultimate wealth. Your health, your spirituality, or spirituality and your health are completely linked together. Your experience, you know what I mean? That's why I need to make some gains. Yeah. You know, my job with training, brother, is just the ultimate level of devotion and respect to my body, man. That's what I love about training. Training's clarity for me. Training's taught me a lot, but at the base level, man, like if someone ask me what motivates me to train, you know, my heartbeat motivates me to train. Straight up. That's what motivates me to train, the fact that I'm alive. So it's no joke when can't say, you know, I'm training for life. It's true. I'm just training for life, man. Nothing more, nothing less. Just had some deja vu. I mean, deja vu is a funky thing. I had deja vu last night, man. Every time I get deja vu, I always just sit there and think, fuck, this is amazing, eh? Every time I get a hit of deja vu, I just think in my head, like, something else is going on here, dude. You know what I mean? I get the deja vu hit and I just say, this is phenomenal. I think weightlifting is completely healthy, man. I mean, healthy is dictated by the person. I mean, there's situations in weightlifting that aren't healthy, and there's situations in any endeavor that aren't healthy. It's just your relationship with it, you know what I mean? Your intention with it, what you're doing. You know what I mean, brother? I don't even know what you mean by real social dynamics, eh? You have to explain to me, eh? Should I worry about my exams? They're important, but it's starting to wear my life away. Well, if it's starting to wear your life away, I would probably change my perspective on the exam a little bit. I mean, the exam's not the fucking tipping point of your life, man. The thing is with exams, and anytime I've ever done a test, anytime I've ever done anything, like an exam or something like that, I just tell myself, brother, I have faith in just my work, you know what I mean? I just tell myself, like, all you can do is just do your best. And whatever the result is, it doesn't even matter, you know, all that matters is that you do your best. All that matters is when you're presented with the opportunity to do your best, you do it, you know what I mean? So like, if you're presented with the opportunity to wank, or you're presented with the opportunity with the study, you study, man. Doesn't mean you have to turn your life into a stress ball where you think the outcome's just going to dictate the rest of your life, eh? It's irrelevant to think like that. Thoughts on rejection, lad? I think rejection's a great tool, man. I think people need to experience rejection. You know, I look at the motherfuckers who stand on the curb who try and sign people up to like Heart Foundation all day. I see them every day, and they're just experts in rejection. You know what? They still come back to every single kind of smiling, man. I think you need to experience a bit of rejection, because it just further fortifies the strength of your own self-love, man. You know what I mean? Why? You know, rejection's a funny thing, brother, because it's funny how we live. You know, most cunts live in this world where it's just like their values based on other people's values of them, which is, you know, it's really fucked up when you think about it, eh? It's like, it's so backwards, man. You know what I mean? It's so backwards, eh? You know, it only takes a few times, man. It only takes a few times of you kind of just stepping back and seeing the process of the rejection thing to kind of go like, what's really going on here, dude? Do you know what I mean? Like, I realized that I was always winning when you just came at it from a standpoint, it's like, the only time I would lose was like, I'm just thinking about rejection, like, because most people talk about rejection in terms of just like rejection with girls, right? And rejection with girls, the way I used to think about it, which I think was a great way to think about it for myself, was like, the only time I lose is when I have the opportunity and I don't try. Beyond that, there's no such thing as losing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is no loss. The only loss is when I have the opportunity and I don't run through the wall. So if I saw someone I liked, or like there's something I wanted to do, I never looked at it. If the answer was no, that wasn't a loss for me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd end up in the exact same position I was in before. I would look at it like, if this girl told me I was fat and ugly, well, I know I'm not fat and ugly. Well, that's not what I think of myself. And I would literally be where I was before I even asked her. And I was good then, so I'll still be good. You know what I mean? And then if she liked me, well, that would also be good. So regardless, either way, I'm still going to be good. Oh, dude, stop, don't say that, Newton's Law, man. Oh. I mean, we'll get the word up in the Real Social Dynamics with the definition soon. Brother, anytime I think about my own self-esteem, I don't think about it like some fortified fucking, I'm like everybody else, bro. I'm just like you, brother. I suffer from low self-esteem sometimes. I just feel like, I'm just like everybody I'm just like everybody else, man. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I wake up and I feel like I'm not good enough, but I don't give no power to that thought, and I don't let that thought grow and prosper and turn into a thing. I've experienced how bad one thought can become once you give power to it and you let it grow. You know what I mean? Like, I've felt not feeling good enough briefly in the morning, and then really believing that and seeing how detrimental that can be to your whole life, so. But I have those thoughts all the time, brother. But I just squash them straight away. Shout out to you, Robbie. It's always good to see you, Robbie, Your thoughts are not you, they are from your mind. Well, personally, brother, I think, like, it's real liberating to think that. It's really liberating to just free yourself from the thoughts. And what I mean by that is, you probably, exactly what you're kind of saying is, like I recognize that, like, I have a number of thoughts all the time. And sometimes I know they're not correct, but I still have them, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to put value into the thoughts you want to put value into them, and not be a slave to them, because it can become very detrimental when you become a slave to them, and you can't discern good thoughts from a bad thought and what thoughts to put energy into and not, man. It'd be like, because I have negative thoughts all the time, just like, I'm assuming a lot of people have negative thoughts, but I recognize it's just a thought, it's just meaningless, it's just like, almost just like, it's just like a car, brother. Like, I'm with no petrol in the car, it's not going anywhere. The more petrol I put into it, the more it's going to go. You know what I mean? So, like, it's like a seed in the fucking floor, man. I give that thought power. I give that thought power. And it's pretty funky when you think like that, brother, because you can have some pretty badass fucking negative thoughts all the time. And if you don't start watering that seed, it will never grow. And it almost becomes comical, because you'll be sitting there thinking, like, these are some pretty hardcore thoughts, but you almost be giggling at them, because it's just like, they have no weight. They have no weight, man. They hold no weight in your life. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone on the planet has zero negative thoughts, just have to learn with what to do with them. Yeah. I realise the power, there's a lot, bro. It's cool, man. I mean, you're living your own self-experiment, man. That's what the great thing is about it, Like, sometimes I have a negative thought and I think to myself, why am I having this negative thought? And it's really good to be aware of it, man. And it's really great to be aware of that process, and then really, you can learn a lot about yourself, man. Like, because I'll have a negative thought sometimes and think to myself, like, why am I having this negative thought, And there could be for a number of reasons, Sometimes I feel like you can go flip to any extreme, brother. You can flip to any extreme. You can have the most extreme thoughts about, living and dying. And like, I've had some weird thoughts about dying before, brother. And then I'll kind of like, it only takes a few seconds of critical thinking to you know, like I'll be like, oh, it's because I haven't slept in like 2 months. That's why I'm thinking it. You know what I mean? Or like I'll get thrust into a situation and I'll be like, suddenly I don't feel like I'm good enough or something, or I feel like being insecure, or some like you're not good enough thought comes into my head, and then I sit there. I don't give power to it, but I'm like, it's interesting how I'm having this thought right now. It's real useful, brother. Do you ever considering podcasting? The Joey Delaney one was sick. Yeah, I'm trying to get into a podcast studio, man, but they won't let me in, brother. They're not compliant to my emails. Good to see you, sir. I'll see you back here soon. They're not responding. I want to get into a studio, yeah. But we'll see when it happens, man. Yeah, brother. Shouts to you, man. Anchor. I gotta check it out. I don't really know what I want. I think about changing my mind, but I feel like I'm disappointing my 8-year-old self. I mean, you know, you are what you are right now, brother. You are what you are right now. And you can get trapped. You can get trapped in the cycle of like trying to work out where you want to go and who you want to become, and it's just a fucking foolish pursuit to get into, man. It's just foolish as fuck, bro. Like, it's not going to serve you well. It's going to get you on the constant hamster wheel preparing for like your 40s, or trying to maintain who you thought you were when you were. It's almost like, imagine if I tried to maintain who I thought I was when I was 7 years old. I'd still be 7 years old. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to disappoint what I thought I was going to become when I was 7. I mean, it's just completely fucked, eh? The only thing I try and satisfy, bro, the only thing I work off is, you know, right here, right now. Like, and that's just the easiest fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, the plan is just to enjoy right now. I think a lot of people, you know, take that with a grain of you're being complacent, but I'm not being complacent at all, man. Like, I'm still up at 3 a.m. training, brother. I'm still fucking fasting. I'm still making money, still riding my bike, still making videos. You know what I mean? And if it can't ask me what my goal was, I'll say my goal is to fucking breathe and get my heart to beat the next fucking beat and enjoy the ground I'm standing on right now. It's like mind-blowing shit. You know what I mean? You feel completely liberated, brother. I'm leaving for a bike tour tomorrow. I need tips. I mean, have you been for a bike tour before? How many kilometers? Hit me with how many kilometers real quick, and if you've done a bike tour before, and I'll give you what I think. You know what I mean? Like what I've experienced with long distance bike riding. You know, the moment, I hate using the word the moment, but you know, it's pretty relevant in this situation. There's so much power. Like, you know when cunts say breathe, man? There's so much power in that. Like, I know some cunts might think it's some cliche spiritual shit, but there's so much power in that. There's so much, like, when you really breathe and just chill and then just like really stop and think about right now, everything melts away, man. Your name melts away. The way you look melts away. Your age melts away. Everything melts away. Even remembering what happened yesterday melts away. What I thought was going to happen tomorrow melts away. Everything melts away, man. And it's a real beautiful moment to be in, dude. And once you start doing that often, you can kind of extrapolate that to your whole life, man. You know how cunts go to the gym and you get into this weird zone when you're at the gym and you look at the clock, you're like, fuck, it's been 4 hours. I forgot I was even, like, I was just living, man. Like, I just forgot, like, that time was even moving. You can literally live your whole life like that, bro. Well, the majority of it, just extrapolate to the whole thing where, like, if you really sit back and you really analyze what's going on, you'd be like, fuck, man, like, I actually, like, I had these moments, man, but I'd sit on the tram and everything would start to go in slow motion and I would be sitting there. You know, I had a lot of these thoughts when I was in Manchester at Joey D's house, man, and I would tell Joey D, it'd be hell funny, man. I'd be sitting on the couch and I'd be like, you know, it's happening again, brother. I'm sitting on this couch and thinking, like, it just hit me. I'll tell the kind, I say, it just hit me. I'll be like, I'm sitting on a couch in Manchester and, like, I'm Abdullah and I'm in Manchester at your house and, like, this is the most surreal fucking thing in the whole world, dude. The power, your superpower, bro, is being here. Like, it actually is. It's just being here. That's your superpower, man. You know the force they talk about in the fucking Star Wars, where you can feel the wind. You know, anytime I want to be fucking powerful, dude, anytime I want to de-anxiety myself, anytime I want to de-stress myself, I notice the wind hitting my hair and my hands. I notice the sound. I notice that sound, eh? And I let the shivers crawl up my spine, and I let the force fucking commence. You know what I mean? I let the force commence, eh? Anytime I feel like, and I've seen the power of that, dude. I've seen 2 hours of straight talk and feel like it's 2 minutes when I feel the wind hit my toes. And just be like, this is where it's at, man. I'm utilizing the force right now. I'm just channeling my higher self. You know, I haven't actually practiced yoga in a long time, man. I did it for a while, but I haven't, you know, maybe I should, man. Not before about 100 k's per day, only in 3 days, just to test and see how I like it, eh? Yeah, well, I mean, anyone can ride 100 k's a day, brother. So, you know, physically, brother, like, the thing is about long distance bike riding is you have to drop every single idea about what you thought it was going to be like. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. You have to drop every single, I think the chat's fucking up, but we'll see. You have to drop every single expectation of what you thought it was going to be like, and that's going to open yourself up to enjoy it. You know, because, you know, good or bad on good or bad, the thing with long distance bike riding is it's just like anything, man. It's just like anything. That's what's great about it. You learn a lot about how your own mindset affects your own suffering level. You know what I mean? You come at it with this expectation that you're going to be like Lance Armstrong. It's going to feel good the whole time. You're going to fucking be loving it. Well, then, as soon as that kind of goes away, you just promote your own suffering. You just go into this pit of suffering where you're just suffering for the sake of, like, you're just promoting your own suffering kind of thing, man. And it's really fucked up, eh? You have to come at it from whatever it is, man. And that's how you enjoy it. You want to. Most people on long distance bike riding or touring, they float between, like, feeling like a king and being like, who am I? You know what I mean? You don't want to float between those two extremes. You want to ride a baseline, dude, where it's like, you have to learn that, like, if you feel good, it's cool, you feel good. And if you feel bad, it's cool, you feel bad. And that's going to allow you just to have this constant level of just enjoyment of the whole thing, and it's not going to be a bad thing. Because it can be real draining, brother, when you put yourself, you really attach yourself emotionally to one state. Like, when you get excited, you get really excited and you're like, fuck, like this is amazing. And then when you drop down below the pit and you feel like shit, you're like, it's not meant to be like this, I should feel better. That becomes very draining to float between those two extremes. It's much more easy just to let go of both of them and then just expect it to be what it's gonna fucking be and just deal with that. And that's all it is. I think the stream cut out, I don't know why, no one's commenting, but, you know, shouts to all of you. Shouts to long distance bike riding. You know, I'm personally, brother, I'm very excited to partake on the 24-hour ride in 3 weeks' time, day after Ramadan. I'm very excited, you know, because I just can't wait to push myself. I can't wait to fucking, I know how cliche it sounds, but I love leaving I just like leaving on the pavement, man. Like, it's just cool. It's just cool to, like, how many people out there really capitalize on the opportunity? Like, it's like, it's amazing, dude. Like, when you really sit out there and you kind of adopt that mindset where you're just trying to ride this consistent wave, it's like beautiful, dude. Like, you have these moments when you're out there, you're like, fuck, man, I've been out here for like 18 hours, and you just feel like just liberated. You feel free, man. Like literally, you're the small percentage of the population that's ever going to experience that kind of you just endurance, cycling, long distance. Like, it's cool, man. Where am I riding to? I'm riding into Adelaide. I'm into a 24-hour ride. I'm very excited. I'm gonna put the Abdullah, same mind, different phrase, brother. I realize into you in order to listen to myself, express myself from different angles, different account, but same spirit, same wisdom, truly seek. Shouts to you, brother. I completely, I relate to that comment, brother, but sometimes I feel the same way about other people too. Like, I feel like once, it's weird, bro. I feel like, this will sound hell far-fetched, but I feel like when you allow yourself, when you regain a level of connectedness with everybody else and like the world itself and like mother, when you kind of adopt and you let go of everything you thought and kind of adopt that kind of mindset, I feel like you have an infinite knowledge base and an infinite base to pull from, and you can pull from that, which is cool. No, I'm still riding, brother. I'm still riding. Yeah, I'm gonna have lights on this 24-hour ride. I don't want to get stopped by the cops, man. I'm sick of paying fines. I'll tell you that. I don't want anyone to stop me on this 24-hour ride. I just want to fucking put my head down and ride. No stopping me. Try hard, mate. Honestly, I know, dude. Hey, I'm sick of paying fines, brother. Anyway, people. Shouts to all of you. It's been a great stream. I'll probably be doing it alone. I mean, if someone joins me, they might join me. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll talk about it in the next stream, man. Shouts to day 9. I'll see you for day 10. Peace.